Hey everybody, welcome back to the Working Man's Whiskey. I'm Bobby. Guys, as you can see, I got a lot going on right here on this table. We're going to do a little whiskey tasting, and then we're going to make a drink today, guys. Do something a little bit different. Just to tell you ahead of time, I am not a bartender. I've played the role of bartender several times, but it's more for fun than anything. I bartended at NASCAR in Sonoma, over the raceway over there a few years back. But just pretty simple stuff, pretty simple drinks. So I have a little small arsenal of recipes and things that I like, but I don't get around to mixing cocktails too much, as you'll see in a little bit. But I wanted to share with you guys one of my favorites, one of my personal favorite recipes, and talk about this whiskey here, guys. J&B, Giusterini and Brooks. It's been around a long time. First got started, I believe, Giusterini, I think his name was Giacomo Giusterini. He was from Italy, and he ended up, it was kind of in a roundabout way. He was in love with this woman, followed her to England. His love, or her love for him, was not returned, unfortunately, but through a series of events, he ended up meeting his future business partner, and he started making whiskey, concocting whiskey from, this is a mix of 42 different whiskeys, both single malt and grain whiskey. Anyway, long story short, he mixed all these whiskeys till he got his desired taste, and it's stood the test of time, guys. And then a guy named Brooks, several years later, bought the company and added the B, added his name, Brooks, to it. So that's why it said Giusterini and Brooks. But I've heard a lot of people say some not so great things about this whiskey here. Some people love it. But guys, you got to know what you're getting into when you buy a whiskey. If you want a single malt, Scotch whiskey, you know what you're kind of getting into. If you want bourbon, you know what you're getting into. This is a blended whiskey. It's several different whiskeys blended together. Again, 42 of them between single malt and grain whiskey. So there may be some things in there that, some tastes in there that aren't for everybody, because it's just such a wide variety of things that go into it. So for me, this is a pretty good whiskey, guys. As far as what it's meant for, if you go on their website, on J&B's website, it'll tell you right there, this whiskey is made for mixing. It says made for mixing right there on the website. Some people don't like that because they feel a whiskey should stand on its own, which I believe to a point. But I also think there are some whiskeys out there that just taste better in a cocktail than they do alone. And there's nothing bad about that. If I have a really good whiskey, I don't want to put it in a cocktail, So every whiskey, I feel, kind of has its place. There are some that aren't so good out there. And then there are some that are good for certain purposes. And this one here, again, good for cocktails, good for mixing up. So let's pour a little taste of it. We won't do too much because I'm going to make that drink too. But just wanted to share this one with you guys and see what we have going. So there you go. And this stuff goes for around here, right around $20 a bottle. You can get it some places around, but I've seen it as low as about $17 around here, as high as about 25. So we're talking about a pretty reasonably priced whiskey. Although the reason I've waited so long to do this one is there are so many whiskeys in that price range that I love, that I really enjoy. This one I enjoy, but in cocktails mostly, and I don't drink cocktails that often. So, and that's why I have this mason jar here. It's an old smoky moonshine cherries jar, because I don't have a shaker, guys. I think I had a shaker a long time ago, and it ended up becoming a coffee cup in the morning because I couldn't find my coffee cup, and then I lost the lid for it. So yeah, this is my new shaker right here. And if you guys don't have a shaker, get a jar. Use a jar. I mean, it serves the purpose well. So let's get to this, guys. Put this over here for now. So take a look at this in the glass, and it's a pretty light whiskey. I don't know if you guys can see that against the wall there, but it's pretty light. It's almost like a gold tequila color to it. Pretty, pretty light yellowish, orangish in the glass there. So take a sniff. And one thing about J&B, whether you like it or not, I really don't think it has a bad smell in the glass. It doesn't. It's not offensive to me. I mean, it smells like, it smells like a blended whiskey on the, I don't want to say on the lower end, but you can smell some youth in there. I believe it says age for a minimum of 3 years. So it's not that old. The whiskeys that go into this, I don't believe. And after you get past that little bit of youth in the glass there, that kind of raw, it's probably that green whiskey peeking through. But you got some really good things going on here, guys. There's a little bit of smoke in there. There's definitely some citrus going on there. I get lemon mostly, like lemon peel, as far as the citrus goes. Definitely some orchard fruit as well. A little bit of apple, pear type note to it. A little bit of honey, a little bit of vanilla, maybe a small floral note to it. But it's not a bad smell. There's a lot going on here. There are some things in the glass that are maybe a turnoff to some people. Again, maybe that youthfulness or that rawness of that grain whiskey. But I think it smells fine, guys. Take a taste. More of the same on the palate as you get on the nose. Definitely a little hit of smoke there. A little bit of citrus. That orchard fruit. That little bit of honey, vanilla. It's a decent whiskey. It's not bad. It's not made to be sipped. Although, actually, I wouldn't have a problem sipping this in a pinch. It's not. Yeah, I've had blended Scotch whiskeys that are a bit better than this, but not a bad whiskey, guys. So we take one more sip and then give it a score, and then we're going to make a cocktail. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm going to give this one a 70. I think I'm going to go with 77 on this one. Weird number, I know, but it's getting in there. I just feel like, I feel like it's right there between the mid-70s to about 80. So 77 sounds right about what it should be for me. So that's it, guys, for the as far as the review part of this one goes. And now we're gonna learn to make a whiskey sour. Whiskey sour is one of my favorite drinks, one of the easiest drinks you can make. If I can make it, anybody can make it. So, good. But it's so simple. The ingredients, there are just a few of them. First off, you want to fill your either shaker or your mason jar with ice here, and then we'll pour the important ingredients in there. Ooh, I don't think I grabbed the spoon. All right, I'll be very careful about that. So let's pour a little bit of whiskey in there. J&B, again, I'm not a bartender, so I don't usually measure my whiskey, but just for the hell of it, pour a little bit in here and see when it looks about right. Looks about right, huh, guys? Not too bad. It's a solid, probably a triple shot there, I'd say. Pour it in. And then, take lemon juice, guys. I squeezed this lemon myself. You can get, the little bottles of lemon juice and whatnot at the store, but nothing's better than the real thing. Fresh squeezed lemon juice, really good stuff. This here, it depends on the lemon, how juicy a lemon is, but this is about 3/4 of a lemon right here. So I don't know. You probably want. It depends on how sour you like it too. So I'd say that's probably a few ounces or a couple ounces anyway. I'd say maybe an ounce. I don't know my measurements, guys. So let's just pour that in there. All right. So lemon juice. We're gonna pour some of these Angostura bitters in there. Angostura bitters, guys, they're good in cocktails. It gives a bit of that herbal taste. This was created a long time ago, actually, to help with different ailments, stomach ailments and whatnot. And then they discovered that the bitters were good in both food and drinks. So definitely a good thing to have around if you get a chance. You'll find them in your mixers aisle at the grocery store or wherever you go. But just pour a little bit in there, not too much, just a couple dashes. Making this messy. All right, guys. So this here, not everybody puts it in. It's, to me, a very important ingredient for a whiskey sour. This is an egg white from one egg. I cracked this right before I started this review. But egg white is definitely a key ingredient to a whiskey sour for me. It gives it that frothiness. It just goes really well. So one egg white. All right. And then I'm going to be really careful about this, guys. What this is right here is simple syrup. And I had a bottle of simple syrup in the cabinet, and it had gone bad because I hadn't used it in a long time. So I made my own simple syrup, and you can too. It's really simple. All you do, get a saucepan and pour equal amounts of sugar and water in there. In this case, I'm going to save what's left over here for future cocktails, but it's 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of water. You boil it until the sugar's dissolved, and then you want to cool it down. Easy to make, guys, really, really easy. And just so I'm not pouring too much in the jar, I should have grabbed a spoon. I'm going to try to, there we go. My wife's going to kill me, I just spilled a little bit. Nobody saw anything, I'll clean it up. So I just poured a little bit in here. Pour it in the jar here, just a little bit, guys. Maybe about a good tablespoon there or so. So that's it for the ingredients, guys. I mean, that's how easy it is. Seal that thing up, pick it up. Got the nice frothiness there from the egg white. Ooh, this is good. All right. Cheers, guys. Happy weekend. Really good. You can add more. If you like things a little sweeter, you can add more of the simple syrup. This is perfect for me because it's got just a little bit of sweetness. And I'm not a big sweets guy. Yeah, I like where you can taste a little bit of sweetness, but not have it be too overpowering. So that was a perfect amount for me. And this is a good whiskey sour, so I'll take another sip. Yeah, I'm a nice chewer, guys. Good cocktail. So, a lot of things you can do with J&B. The whiskey sour here. If you go on their website, you'll find a bunch of different recipes. But, I like to complement a whiskey's flavors, natural flavors, with things that kind of go well with it. In this case, with the citrus and the orchard fruit, anything with lemon or lime, apple flavoring, if you have just like fresh squeezed apple, probably go pretty well in there. But there's a bunch of things you can do, guys. Again, I'm not a big cocktail guy, but I like my occasional whiskey sour, Manhattan, old fashions, guys. There are a lot of good whiskey cocktails out there. And this is probably one of my favorites. So hope you guys enjoyed this one and saw how easy it is to make a whiskey cocktail. Try it out, guys. Definitely try out the J&B if you can find it, especially at a cheap price, which it usually is. Give it a shot. And it goes really well in mixed drinks. So try it out. That's it for now, guys. My next review is going to be from Virginia City. There in Nevada. I leave on Friday. And I'm looking forward to it, guys. It's a review that I've been looking forward to for a long time. One of my favorite whiskeys. And I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to do it from one of the old saloons there or from my hotel room there. And, geez, that wind is whipping out there. It's been wet and rainy. Here in May, guys, just weather's nuts. Back to the trip. I've been looking forward to this. The hotel I'm staying in is, it's been there since the 1800s. It's an old west town, my kind of place. So really excited about it and looking forward to sharing a little bit with you guys too. So I'll talk to you then. Probably, we'll see. It'll be sometime next weekend. So look forward to talking to you all then. Have a good day, good weekend, guys. And that's it. Until next time, cheers.